I'm Shayla, and if you're returning, thank you all so much for tuning in time after time. I greatly appreciate it. But let's jump right into the topic of this video, which is why I have decided not to compete. And I thought this would be a really good topic to talk about just because I've gotten asked quite a few times underneath older videos and honestly some new videos that I've posted if I'm competing again, when I'm competing again. And then you all have also shared with me your journey, which I am so thankful for. It's really nice hearing about how my journey inspired you, but also how you're conquering your goals, your fears, and y'all are competing, which is really exciting. I think it's a great thing to experience. I hope this video doesn't discourage anyone from competing because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I think for me, I just had to be very honest with myself and figure out the why behind why I'm competing and if I even want to compete again, which by the title of this video, right now, I'm not going to be competing again, and I'll just kind of explain why that is because there's pretty much 3 reasons as to why I'm not competing. So when it comes to the 3 reasons as to why I'm not competing, this list isn't in any particular order. The first thing is going to be the time commitment. And when it comes to bodybuilding, it is very, very time consuming. For me, my day started around 5 a.m. and it ended, it just kind of depended on the day. Sometimes 11-ish. Sometimes I could get to bed before, but when I was competing previously, I was working multiple jobs. And so I had to kind of squeeze in meal prep in between jobs, or maybe if I had a day off, I kind of had to just fit it in where I could. But at the same time, you can't not fit it in. You can't put it on the back burner because you'll start to realize quickly with bodybuilding, your life revolves around it and not the opposite way. And what I mean by that is that you can't miss a meal. You have to get all your meals in. You have to get all your workouts in. You have to practice your posing. You have to do a lot for the competition. Otherwise, you won't be ready, and you won't deliver the presentation that you would like to deliver if you're missing workouts, if you're missing meals. Like, everything counts. Your coach is strategically planning out your meals or your macros depending on how they do it, and there's a reason behind it. There's a reason why your coach wants you to work out so many days a week and do so much cardio and take certain supplements and etc. And you have to follow that. So when you stop following it, when you miss things, when you don't do what you're supposed to do or need to do, you start to see the consequences of it. And I'll put the link to a few videos down below, such as the cost to compete, as well as things I wish I knew before I competed, so that way you all can kind of get a better idea of my journey throughout competing. But it is very time consuming, so just know that if you already have a job or 2, this is going to be like your 2nd or 3rd job, and you are going to have to put the time in to compete. And I wanted to enjoy life. Like, I live in a completely different state now, and I've really been enjoying it. And I think this might have kind of contributed to it as well. As much as I did enjoy competing, it's like, now I want to live. And with bodybuilding, I just feel so confined in a box. Like, how can I say this? I feel like my words they're not coming to me. I just feel like it's not that I want to do whatever I want to do, but I just feel like I can't enjoy life and do bodybuilding at the same time. And for some reason, I cannot articulate myself right now. I feel like I just can't fully enjoy life and do bodybuilding because because when I'm competing or when I'm in prep, I'm so focused on doing everything perfectly, and I become very robotic. And if something is not right, if I go off track, it throws me off. It throws my days off. It makes me moody because I'm like, dang, I messed up. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And that's not how I want to live. But it definitely takes a certain type of person, a certain level of discipline and consistency. And if you compete, you'll be able to understand that a little bit more, and you'll realize quickly if this is something you can do long term or even want to do long term, or if it's something that it's just like a one-time thing for the experience. For me, I did it twice. I truly enjoyed it. And I think if this is something that you want to do it. And then you decide for yourself if you want to continue. But for me right now, I'm good. So the second reason why I've decided not to compete is because of the cost of competing. It is very, very expensive. And if you were to watch my cost of competing for bodybuilding, well, the cost to compete in bodybuilding, you would see very quickly how it adds up. I literally discuss everything from food to miscellaneous things that I purchased to the suit that I wore on stage, hair, makeup, etc. I tried to break it down as much as I possibly could for you all. So definitely go watch that if you want a better idea of how much it truly does cost to compete. But if you're gonna put out that much money, and it's probably gonna be thousands of dollars. If you're gonna put out that much money, this needs to be your passion. Or I would say this needs to be maybe your first time competing and you really want the experience. You wanna see what it's like, see if this is for you. I think definitely go for it. Or maybe this is your passion. I mean, you want to go pro and you want to go as far as you could possibly go with it. It's worth the investment, but if you're just doing it for fun, it's a very expensive sport. It's very, very expensive. And for me, I don't have the desire to go pro at the moment. I don't have the desire to go as far as I can in bodybuilding. And I kept going back and forth, and that's why it kind of took me so long to even make this video, because I didn't want to make it and then like, just kidding, I'm actually competing. So you'll notice in this video, I'm not saying I'll never compete again. I'm just saying this is why I'm not competing right now. And if it changes, I will let you all know, but I definitely don't want to keep investing in something where I'm not fully passionate about, because there's things I am passionate about and I could be putting my resources towards those things. But very, very expensive sport to compete in. But I think if you want to do it at least once, go for it and just plan in advance. Go ahead and start saving now. That way, once you start competing, you're not worried about money. So the third and final reason has to do with body image. So after I competed, it really did change the way that I viewed my body. And it took me a very, very long time to get back to normal, to get back to a place where I am satisfied with how I look. And now that I'm at that place again, where I absolutely love my physique and I don't want to go back. I feel like I'm going to backtrack if I compete. Like things are going to go back to how they were. And I don't want that to happen. After I competed the first time, I was binge eating a lot. I truly had body dysmorphia. After my second show, I did the same thing. It just wasn't as bad. And it literally took me almost a year to get to this point where it's like, you're at a healthy weight, you're at a good weight, your physique looks great, there's nothing wrong with you. And it took me such a long time to get to this point that I don't want to do anything that would take me backwards. And I feel like competing would do that. And I understand that competing is not a healthy sport, so please don't do this if you think that this is a healthy sport. You just want to get lean and be the leanest you've ever been. And it's nice to see yourself in that physique where you're extremely lean, especially if you've never been that lean before. It's like, wow, I did not know I could get this small. I didn't know I had this much muscle, etc. But it's also not realistic. It is a very temporary thing. It is something that you do to get ready for stage. And when you come off a stage, you go back to a healthy weight. But it's easier said than done, because throughout that process of you getting back to your healthier weight again, it really starts to affect your mindset. And when that happens, well, let me speak for myself. So it affected my mindset. And then when that happened, I started to binge eat. I started to view myself in a very negative light, and I could not get out of it. And now that I'm out of that, I really don't want to go back to it. I even felt different then. I felt like after my competition, I think for my both competitions, I lost about 20 to 25 pounds. And then after the competition, I gained that weight back. And I felt like my skin was very swollen. It felt stretched. It kind of felt itchy at times because I gained the weight back pretty fast. I did not follow my reverse diet at all, which is a plan to ease you back into some sense of normalcy when it comes to eating, and I didn't follow it at all. So my weight came back extremely fast, and it was very uncomfortable for me to be in clothes. It was very uncomfortable for me just in general to be in my own skin. And now that I'm at a place where I feel comfortable in my own skin, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to backtrack whatsoever, and I feel like competing would cause me to do that. Right now, the best thing for me to do is to not compete. It might change in the future, I don't know, but for now, the way that I view my body is in such a positive light. I don't want to do anything that would cause me to think any differently of it. Hopefully this gave you a little bit more insight as to why I've decided not to compete right now. If anything changes, I will let you all know, but I think for now, I am going to create more general fitness content for you all, and I hope y'all enjoyed that. If there's anything that you want to see, please let me know. Any questions that you have, let me know down below and I will answer those for you all. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.